Why does the universe have a speed limit? Seriously, think about it. Why can't anything go faster than light? You've heard the answer. Nothing can exceed 300 million meters per second. Teachers say it, textbooks print it, documentaries repeat it. That belief is not a little wrong, fundamentally wrong. Here's the thing nobody tells you. Light doesn't have a speed. Not really. What we call the speed of light isn't a property of light at all. It's a property of space-time itself. It's the conversion rate between space and time, the universe's exchange rate, and it's enforced with absolute brutality. Right now, as you sit there, you're hurtling through space-time at exactly light speed. Not approximately, exactly. You always have been. You always will be. The only choice you get? How to split that motion between space and time. Move faster through space, you move slower through time. Sit perfectly still, all your motion goes through time. Light puts everything into space. Zero left for time. That's the limit. That's the wall. Not a speed limit, a budget. And reality doesn't issue refunds. Let me show you. Grab your phone right now. Turn on the flashlight. Point it at the wall. Look at that beam. Seems instant, right? You press the button, light hits the wall. No delay, no travel time you can feel. But here's your first experiment. Hold your phone at arm's length. Now swing it fast across the room while the flashlight's on. Watch the spot on the wall. It moves with your hand. Smooth, immediate, like the light has no speed at all. But it does. That light just traveled from your phone to the wall at 300 million meters per second, while your hand moved at maybe 2 meters per second. Meaningless comparison, right? Here's where it breaks. Imagine you're not in your room. You're in a spaceship, moving at half the speed of light, 150 million meters per second. You turn on your flashlight, point it forward. How fast does that beam move away from you? Your gut says light speed plus your speed, 450 million meters per second total. Wrong. The light moves away from you at exactly 300 million meters per second. Not faster because you're moving, the same speed, exactly the same. Now imagine someone standing still, watching your spaceship fly past. They measure your flashlight beam too. How fast does the light move according to them? Your gut says, well, the light's going 300 million, the ship's going 150 million, so they should see the light moving at 450. Wrong again. They also measure exactly 300 million meters per second. Same light, same beam. Two different observers moving at wildly different speeds. Both measure the identical speed of light. This isn't a trick. It's not measurement error. It's not an illusion. It's law. The speed of light doesn't add to your speed, doesn't subtract, doesn't care how fast you're moving or in what direction. Light ignores your velocity entirely. And here's the part nobody tells you. This shouldn't work. In any sane universe, speeds add up. You walk on a moving train, your speed plus train speed equals your total speed. Light says no. Light says, I move at this speed relative to everyone, always. No exceptions, no negotiations. The universe keeps strict books, and light is the auditor. So something has to give. Something has to bend to make this work. And that something, it's not light, it's space, it's time, it's everything else. The universe warps itself to keep light speed constant. Think about what just happened. You swung a flashlight across your room. Seemed normal, seemed obvious. But underneath that simple motion, reality rearranging itself to balance an equation you didn't know existed. Let me ask you something strange. How fast are you moving right now? You're sitting there, watching this. Feels like zero, right? Wrong. You're hurtling through space-time at exactly the speed of light. Right now, this second. Not approximately, exactly. And you can't slow down, can't speed up, can't stop. Always light speed. Always. Here's the part your physics teacher skipped. Space and time aren't separate things. They're one thing, space-time, stitched together like fabric. And you're always moving through that fabric at the same total speed. Think of it like a budget. You have exactly 300 million meters per second to spend. That's it. That's your allowance. The universe doesn't give you more. Now here's the choice. You can spend that budget on moving through space, or you can spend it on moving through time. But the total always equals light speed. Sit perfectly still in space, all your motion goes through time. You age. Clocks tick. Seconds pass. You're speeding through time at maximum rate. Start moving through space, some of your budget shifts. Less goes to time, more goes to space. Move faster through space, even less time. Clocks slow down. This isn't philosophy, it's accounting. The universe keeps strict books, every transaction balanced, every trade recorded. Now watch what this actually means. Imagine your friend stays home. You get on a rocket, blast off at 90% light speed. You've just reallocated your budget. 90% now goes to space. Only 10% left for time. Your clocks tick slower. Your heart beats slower. Your thoughts form slower. Not because something's wrong with you, because you traded time for space. Your friend back home? Still stationary in space. All their budget goes to time. Their clocks tick normally. You reunite after what feels like 1 year to you. For them, 10 years passed. This is real. This happens. This isn't theory. Brutal. Now here's light. Light takes this to the extreme. Light puts everything into space, every last fraction of its budget. Nothing left for time. Light speed through space, zero speed through time. And that's why light is the limit. You can approach it, get close, spend more and more of your budget on space, but you can never hit it, because you'd have to give up time entirely. And as long as you have mass, you need time. You exist in time. You require it. Light doesn't. Light has no mass. Light doesn't experience time. Light doesn't age. From light's perspective, if light could have a perspective, the entire universe happens at once. No duration, no before and after, just now, everywhere, all at once, instant. The photon that left a star 8 billion years ago didn't experience those 8 billion years. For the photon, departure and arrival happened at the same moment, zero time. That's not a speed limit, that's a boundary. The boundary between things that experience time and things that don't. And you're on one side, light's on the other. So far we've learned this. You're always moving at light speed through space-time. You choose how to split that motion between space and time. Light spends everything on space, nothing on time. That's why you can't catch it. The constant isn't speed, it's the budget. And the budget is enforced. The year is 1905. A 26-year-old patent clerk rides a tram through Bern, Switzerland. His name is Albert Einstein, and he's about to break physics. Not in a laboratory, not with equipment, with a thought. Here's what he imagined. The tram passes a clock tower. Einstein looks back at it, watches the clock hands. Then he asks himself a strange question. What if this tram could move at the speed of light? What would the clock look like? Here's where it gets uncomfortable. Light bouncing off the clock carries the image to his eyes. That's how he sees it. But if he's moving away at light speed, the light can never catch him. The image freezes. The clock stops. Not broken, not paused, frozen in his reference frame. Time itself stops. But Einstein knows something else. Inside the tram, everything feels normal. His heart beats, his thoughts flow, his pocket watch ticks. Time runs fine for him. So which is true? Is time stopped or not? Both. And that answer shattered 300 years of physics. See, before Einstein, everyone believed in absolute time. Newton built his entire system on it. Time flows the same for everyone, everywhere, always. A cosmic clock ticking identically across the universe. That belief is not a little wrong, fundamentally wrong. Einstein saw it clearly on that tram. Time isn't absolute. Time is personal. Time depends on how you're moving. And here's the part that made him Einstein. He didn't panic, didn't reject it. He followed the logic. If time can run differently for different observers, but the speed of light stays constant for everyone, then something must adjust. Space and time must flex. They must bend, stretch, compress, whatever it takes to keep light speed identical for all observers. The universe doesn't care about your intuition. It cares about consistency. Light speed is the constant. Everything else negotiates. Think about what just happened. A clerk on a tram asked a simple question. What would light look like if I chased it? And the answer rebuilt reality. Special relativity, time dilation, length contraction, mass-energy equivalence, all from one daydream. But here's what most people miss. Einstein didn't discover that light is special. He discovered that light reveals the truth. Light's behavior exposes how space-time actually works. The weirdness isn't in light. The weirdness is in space and time themselves. Light just refuses to hide it. Every other speed? Relative, changeable, dependent on your frame. Light? Absolute, fixed, immutable. And when something stays constant while everything else shifts, that's not a property. That's a law. That's the architecture showing through. Einstein saw the architecture, and once you see it, you can't unsee it. The speed of light isn't a number. It's the universe confessing how it actually works. A patent clerk heard that confession on a tram in Bern, and nothing was ever the same. Now here's the question. Can we prove this? Actually prove it, not with thought experiments, with reality. Let me build you the simplest clock in the universe. 2 mirrors facing each other, one photon bouncing between them. Every time the photon hits the bottom mirror, that's one tick. Simple, clean, perfect. This is a light clock. Now here's your second experiment. Imagine holding this clock, standing still. You watch the photon bounce straight up and down. Tick, tick, tick. Regular intervals, predictable time. Now I put you on a spaceship, moving sideways at half light speed. Inside the ship, you see the same thing. Photon bouncing straight up and down. Tick, tick, tick. Nothing changed for you. But I'm standing outside, watching your ship fly past. What do I see? Here's where your intuition fails. I see the photon moving diagonally, because while the photon travels up, the whole clock moves sideways. So the photon traces a longer diagonal path, up and across, down and across, longer path. But wait, the photon still moves at light speed. Not faster because the clock is moving, same speed, exactly the same. Same speed, longer path. What has to change? Time. The tick takes longer from my perspective. Your clock runs slower. Not broken, not malfunctioning, actually slower. Let me say that again, slower. Time itself dilates, stretches, expands. 1 second for you becomes more than 1 second for me. Both are correct. Both are real. Neither is an illusion. This isn't about clocks being weird. This is about time being flexible. The photon speed is sacred, constant, protected. Time bends to protect it. Space bends to protect it. Reality rearranges itself to keep that one number fixed. The universe keeps strict books. Light speed is the ledger that cannot be changed. Everything else adjusts. And this isn't just theory. This isn't just mathematics. This happens every day, everywhere, including directly above your head, right now. Take out your phone again. Open any map app. That blue dot showing your location, that's relativity, working right now. Here's how GPS actually functions. 31 satellites orbit Earth. Each one carries an atomic clock, precision beyond anything you've held in your hands. Your phone receives signals from at least 4 satellites, compares their timestamps, calculates the difference. From those differences, your exact position, within meters. Beautiful system. But here's the part nobody talks about. Those satellites move at 14,000 kilometers per hour, orbiting, circling. Their clocks tick slower than yours. Not by much, 7 microseconds per day slower, because they're moving. Remember the light clock? Same principle. Motion through space costs time. Quiet. But wait, there's more. Those satellites are also higher than you, further from Earth's gravity, and gravity affects time too. Clocks in weaker gravity tick faster. That's general relativity. Space-time curves around mass. Up there, gravity is weaker. Their clocks tick 45 microseconds faster per day. So you have two effects. Speed slows them down by 7 microseconds. Altitude speeds them up by 45 microseconds. Net result? Satellites gain 38 microseconds every single day. Sounds tiny. It's not. Light travels 300 million meters per second. In 38 microseconds? Over 11 kilometers. Without corrections, your GPS would drift 11 kilometers daily. By the end of a week, your blue dot would show you in a different city. By the end of a month, a different country. Engineers correct for this constantly. Every satellite, every signal, every calculation includes relativistic adjustments. The universe doesn't care what you believe. It builds you anyway. This isn't abstract physics. This is your Uber arriving correctly, your delivery finding your door, your airplane landing on the right runway. Relativity isn't theory, it's infrastructure. So time dilation is real, proven, running in your pocket right now. But we can go more extreme. What about particles from outer space? Particles that shouldn't even reach us. Right now, something impossible is hitting you. Cosmic rays slam into Earth's atmosphere, 60 miles up. Violent collisions. These collisions create particles called muons. Think of muons like heavy, unstable electrons. They decay fast, very fast. Average lifespan? 2.2 microseconds. That's it. Then they're gone. Poof! Transformed into something else. Now here's the problem. Muons are created 60 miles above your head, moving at 99% light speed. Do the math. Even at that insane speed, they should travel about 600 meters before decaying. 600 meters! Not 60 miles. Not even close. They should never reach the ground. But they do. Millions of muons hit Earth's surface every minute, passing through your body right now, this second. Impossible, except it's happening. How? Time dilation. From our perspective on the ground, the muon's clock runs slow, extremely slow. Its 2 microsecond lifespan stretches, expands, dilates. We see it living long enough to travel 60 miles. Easy. But here's where it gets even stranger. From the muon's perspective, its clock runs normally, 2.2 microseconds. No change. So how does it reach the ground? Length contraction. From the muon's view, it's not traveling 60 miles. Space itself compresses. The distance shrinks to a few hundred meters. Same result. Different explanation. Both equally true. The muon experiences short distance. We experience long time. Both agree on the outcome. It reaches the ground. Wild. This isn't philosophy. This isn't mathematics. This is particles hitting detectors. Measurable, countable, verified. The universe keeps strict books. Muons balance the equation with their own stretch time, or compressed space, depending on who's watching. Reality doesn't negotiate. Reality doesn't issue refunds. Reality enforces the constant. So far, we've learned this. Light clocks prove time bends. GPS satellites prove we use this daily. Muons prove it happens at extremes, all to protect one number, one sacred constant. But what is that constant really? Time for the truth. Here's where I break your mind. The speed of light has nothing to do with light. Let me say that again. Light didn't create this limit. Light just happens to travel at it. The real limit? Causality. The speed at which cause can create effect. The maximum rate at which information can travel. The universe's ultimate refresh rate. This is the speed of causality. Light just rides it. Think about what this means. If you punch a wall, your fist affects the wall. Cause and effect. That effect cannot travel faster than light speed, not because of light, because of how space-time is structured. One event cannot influence another faster than this limit, ever. If it could, consequences would arrive before actions, effects before causes, tomorrow before today. Causality would collapse, logic would collapse, reality would eat itself. The universe doesn't allow this. The constant is enforced, brutally, absolutely. Now here's the reframe. People say light has a speed limit. That's just a label. The truth? Space-time has a geometry, and that geometry has a conversion rate built in. Space and time exchange at exactly this rate. Not faster, not slower, fixed. Light happens to be massless, so light naturally travels at this conversion rate. No resistance, no drag, pure causality speed. But even without light, this limit would exist. A universe with no photons would still have this speed limit, because it's not about what's traveling, it's about the fabric itself. And nobody talks about this part. When you ask why can't anything go faster than light, you're asking the wrong question. The right question, why does space-time have this specific geometry? And honestly, we don't know. We know the limit exists. We've measured it, tested it, built technology on it. But why this number? Why 300 million meters per second? Why not faster? Why not slower? Nobody knows. It might be arbitrary, a cosmic accident, random, or it might be necessary. The only value that allows stable matter, stable atoms, stable you. Either way, it's the law. Not a law we created, a law we discovered, written into the architecture before we existed. Light doesn't have a speed limit. The universe has a speed limit. Light just obeys it perfectly. Let's come back to you. Right now, this moment, sitting there. You feel stationary, motionless, still, but you're not. You're hurtling through space-time at exactly light speed. Always have been, always will be. Your motion just happens to point entirely through time right now. Every second that passes, that's you traveling, through time, at maximum rate. Stand up, walk across the room. You just stole a tiny fraction from time and spent it on space. Imperceptible. Immeasurable with any device you own. But real. Now think bigger. Those astronauts on the space station, moving faster through space, aging slower through time, coming back microseconds younger than they would have been. Real. Measured. Documented. Think even bigger. A particle in an accelerator, 99.99% light speed, its clock nearly frozen, experiencing seconds while we experience years. Same budget, different allocation. Beautiful. And here's the final piece. You wanted to know why the universe has a speed limit. Now you know. It doesn't. Not really. The universe has a budget, a total speed through space-time that never changes. Light speed isn't a wall you hit. It's a balance you keep. Move through space, sacrifice time. Move through time, sacrifice space. No exceptions, no loopholes, no negotiations. The universe keeps strict books, and you're an entry in that ledger. Every movement you make, every second you experience, perfectly balanced, perfectly accounted. This isn't physics. This is reality's accounting system. And light? Light is the entity that spends everything on space. Nothing left for time. The ultimate specialization. That's why you can't catch it. Not because it's fast, because it exists differently than you do. You live in time. Light doesn't. You experience duration. Light doesn't. You age. Light doesn't. Same universe, different relationship with it. So next time you turn on your phone flashlight, remember, that beam isn't just traveling through your room. It's showing you the architecture of existence itself, the conversion rate of reality, the enforced constant that makes cause lead to effect. And here's the question I'll leave you with. If light doesn't experience time at all, does light experience anything? What does existence feel like when there's no before and after? Something to think about.